So the biggest premise, the problem that we were solving when he came to me with this idea, he said, how do we integrate 3 businesses, right? So today, if you're a fan, and you could substitute in here entertainment or gaming, right? So any sports or any entertainment thing is totally passive, right? You sit back and you watch or you yell at the TV, whether it's a concert, golf, pick whatever you want, right? Super passive, you can't impact it. And gaming is one way. I mean, you could say it's 2-way, you can get multiple people playing, but you're not actually doing anything to be impactful on what's happening in the game. Similarly with, I'm in a fantasy, fantasy, you pick your players, but like they're not picking you, and gaming is all virtual. It can be multifaceted, but it's not real, right? And so our fan experience, what we've done with YCF is that we've made it interactive, immersive, and impactful. So we have taken 3 distinct industries, sports, gaming, and technology, and we've brought them together for the first time. So these are photos of our live. We had 2 football teams. We live streamed it. We did gaming head-to-heads. I'm going to let you play with it, so you're going to see it all. And you were impacting. You were getting coach plays sent to your phone. You were voting on them, and you were impacting it. So we've taken 3 industries, and we brought them together for the first time. So the best way to see, and I'm going to let you play it so you guys can get a feel, is how it works. And we have 4 patents on this technology, and there's a whole bunch of back-end applications to the front-end app, and I'll show them all to you guys. So what happens is, in a football game, if you are a coach of a football team, you have all your plays on a call sheet. So depending on whatever's happening on the field, you have a set of plays that you want the players to run. So in our business model, those plays are on an iPad, and given the situation, it's Q1 and it's 1st and 10, the coaches send a selection of 3 plays out to anyone who's downloaded the app. It comes to your phone, coaches select in the plays, and you're live streaming it in your phone too. We live stream with no latency, absolute 0. We found a company in Chicago, no latency. We were with Turner Sports the other day because they're trying to figure out how to get 0 latency. Everyone else right now is in the high teens to low 20s. Yeah. 3 plays come to your phone. You have 10 seconds to tap on that play. So you can be sitting at a bar, or you could be at a location, or you could be at home. That play, you pick the play. It goes back up to Amazon, goes back down to the coach's iPad, and it says the fans want this play. So that's the one that now the coach radios to the quarterback, and they run it on the field. And then what happens is, if you voted with the majority, you want that play to do very well, because this is where the gaming comes in. Because now they're going to run that play on the field. If the play does well, we're going to score you, just like in fantasy. We're going to give you points if you voted with the majority and the play did well. If you didn't vote with the majority, you want the defense to stuff them and do bad, because we're going to give you against the grain. Another gaming element to get to the gamers. And then also the 3rd way you can rack up points is if you think like the coach. So if these 3 plays came back and the coach said, dang it, this is the one I wanted the fans to vote. They didn't. If you voted with this one with the coach, we're going to give you an extra bonus because you thought like the coach, you're following the coach along. So we immediately score you in real time, and then you see exactly where you are on the leaderboard with everybody else who's playing. Or you can, if you set up competitions, just like fantasy, if you set up head-to-heads or you set up leagues, you're going to get your score in real time.
So you can override the coach if there's enough critical mass?
Yes, you always override the coach. Oh, wow. But remember, these are his 3 best plays. It's his playbook. Oh. So he's picking, yes.
Right, but he's the one with the intuition on the ground, and then so all of a sudden the crowdsource decision comes in, and he says, okay, we're doing that one.
That's right.
Oh, cool.
Right. So we do all of this, pretty much happens in a 21-second cycle.
Wow.
And we did it for 2 hours, 4 weeks in a row, no tech issues, no streaming issues, no data compilation issues at all. And I'll let you guys play with it. And what happens is, what we're doing is we're engaging fans so that they can see the game on the field where you call the plays in a live game, so now it's not passive, right? And they're executing that on the field, so you're impacting it, but with the game within the game. We're giving you fantasy and gaming because we're giving you scoring ability to compete with your friends. You look confused.
Yes. I don't understand the way it works. The part I'm confused is like you really saying is a real game now is on.
Yes.
And you basically you're trying. I think this play like this will work better. And you basically tell the coach to do this.
No. So the coach is basically saying. So yes. So we hosted our own games with our own players.
Okay.
And we trained our players, and the coaches came up with their playbook of plays.
Okay.
So they're all quality plays. It's not gimmicky.
Okay.
And then we used social media, we used our marketing partners and our media partners to say to you, our game is starting, it's every Monday night at 8 o'clock, get in the game.
Okay.
Just like a TV show.
Okay.
And then you got in the game, you watched it, live streamed it, you either live streamed it through the phone, on our website, or we did it with Forrestor Sports. And every time a play was happening, the coach would push a selection of plays to you and you had a vote. And we did this cycle over and over again for 2 hours during a live football game.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah. But once you get too many users, like if you get a lot of users, do you think that can still work well?
Absolutely. We've scaled it right now. I mean, if you think about most gaming apps and, so put it this way. If you're watching an NFL game, you get 10 to 15 million viewers watching it. But the lower you go down, you're not getting that many. So we got 300,000 votes was happening, which was excellent for us. No one knows who we are or what we're doing. But, we could scale this. It's a super easy. We're using a local development company here in Boston, Cantina, and we'd scale it.
Okay.
No problem. So from a marketing and positioning standpoint, we are basically saying to ourselves, this is where the future is. Any good 2x2, if you've been to any good Babson business school, you need a good 2x2, right? And so we're saying to the world, the future is in fan control being absolutely high. As consumers, we want to control everything. It's the me generation. And we want our experience to be live. We want it to be immersive, right? And so over here, this is where you have today's world of sports, of entertainment, right? It's all live, but we just sit back passively. We can't control it, right? I mean, this is the place where we all spend way too much time. There's so much content out there, right? It's not real. You can't control it, but by God, it's sinking my life, I can tell you that right now. I just got sucked into the Americans, and I'm like, binge watching that. I'm like,
Did you watch The Crown?
Oh God, love The Crown. God, yeah, that's long gone. Thank God my husband has me on podcasts now. I feel like I'm bringing it up a little bit more with some podcasts instead of just TV. And this is the gaming world, right? Booming down here, right? And if you have had over the last 10 years kind of this in the middle, reality TV, booming, The Bachelor, all that crap. I mean, sorry, I say that with love, but I mean it. Dancing with the Stars, I have 3 girls that are addicted to it, right? But you can't, it's live. They're trying to get you to impact it by like tweeting, but you're still not controlling it. And we believe that, if you're in this segment up here, you're in trouble. Because the next generation is not going up there. And they're not spending money up there. They're down here, right? The NFL is in so much trouble. They don't have a millennial audience, period. They're not watching it on TV. They're not going to them because it's too expensive. Golf, aging, right? So we believe that the future is here. How do you allow the next generation to be about them? So that's why our technology is about it's an outward in instead of inside out. It's about the fan's ability to impact something that's live and control it. That make sense? So we did our first, to get this off the ground, because we would go out talk to investors and they'd be like, that sounds really cool, have you done it? And we're like, nope. So we had to go do it. So I literally built 2 football teams. I had former NFL coaches. I had 100 players. I had a full football staff for 7 weeks in Florida, and I ran 4 games, 2-hour live streamed. So I had a full football production. They trained every day. I had 4 Thursday night games. I had about 400 people on location during the games voting, fans, and then I had fans everywhere else, just voting. And then I used all of my back-end technology, which I'll show you guys in a minute, to make it work. So we literally did, in our first series, the football, we had about 4 former Super Bowl players. So we had quality football. The coaching staff was all like kind of legendary retired coaching staff, so they had great names with them. All the players had been on like an NFL team, and they were looking to get back on a team. We had over almost 10,000 voters who were consistently fans voting, and we processed about 300,000 votes going back and forth through the system. We had about 40,000 viewers every week just watching the live stream. Some of them were voters too, but they were watching, which is pretty good if you look at Nielsen ratings for like startups, or even if you go on Twitch and you look at some really high-end gaming, doesn't get that. And our average viewing time, which we thought was awesome too, was 45 minutes. Again, you don't get that type of attention span. And then we gave away cash prizes. So we also made it like a FanDuel DraftKings, where like you could be eligible for cash prizes if you were voting and you were calling good plays and scoring. So we had awesome feedback, like literally people who were doing it were like tweeting it out with, no one knew who we were. Make sure you get on it. They're giving away money. This was awesome. This guy like took a snapshot of his score and tweeted it out. Like we literally got, I am an analyst by trade, so I'm looking to be negative and beat the crap out of things. And like we got nothing broke. Everyone got their votes, like it was really flawless. Now, is there a ton of stuff we can fix? Absolutely. We heard things like people wanted some new features, like it's an event-driven app. So we've changed, the app looks like this now, it's different from what you'll see. So you can like add it to your calendar so that you don't forget. Like people were saying to us, oh, we forgot the game was going on, because we're not on NBC, we're not on Fox, we're not on ESPN because they have too much of a delay. I can't, like CBS Sports wanted to broadcast our games, I couldn't do it because they have a 27-second delay. And that cycle, if you remember, I can't afford any delay. It has to be real time. So we have new features. We've added more. The other thing, people, 45 minutes, they want each quarter of a football game to be a game in and of itself. So we've changed everything into quarterly games. So at the end of every quarter, you can share your score. You can invite friends for the next quarter, or you can say, I don't want to vote the next quarter. It's too taxing. And we have different, we're using much different things. Last time we used Barstool, which if you don't know who they are, they're a pretty prominent sports media company. So they were awesome in getting us like 40,000 viewers. But we're realizing now in the age of everything changes so quickly that these micro-influencers, we need these people who are out there on the social channels who can like, very quickly. Yeah, yes, I don't even know how to, we all know who they are without describing them, right? So that's kind of what we did. Our long-term strategy is to continue to do our series with football, but we're gonna branch out into licensing. So what we're finding is, if you remember that top left-hand quadrant, a lot of those properties up there are like, holy crap, how do we engage our fan base more? So the Pro Bowl's looking at it, Topgolf, some of the colleges and other football leagues are saying, hey, maybe I want to license this technology because it can help me, it's more innovative from a marketing perspective to get to our target audience. It helps us integrate the physical facility with the people who are fans who could be anywhere, at home or at a bar. It is absolutely DVR proof. That's why people like it. You can't DVR this. It's live. If you want to vote and rack up scores and compete with your friends, you got to be watching it. So they love that. They also love the Pro Bowl and Topgolf, because it gets to the millennial audience, right? They don't have them yet. It positions them as an innovator. And the other thing too, it's a sponsorable asset. So one of the things we're talking about, and you'll see, is like for the Pro Bowl, you know, they can do fan play calling experience. They can take their partners and put their ads. We have inline ads, mobile ads in our app. Same with Topgolf. You could connect the physical Topgolf. They have a huge fixed cost in their physical buildings, if anyone's ever been to a Topgolf or you've seen it. And how do you integrate the physical place with anyone who's a golfing person if they're at home, and get some ad revenue, et cetera, out of it? So that is kind of you were starting to ask all kinds of questions that I knew I had answers to, so I'm hoping this kind of got to your question. And I can show you guys, I can fire it up and show you the whole system, but.
Definitely. Well, so yeah, now I have the second order of magnitude questions.
Yeah. So questions or thoughts, or people want to eat while they chat?
Do you need the networks? I mean, it sounds like you might have found a way to just go OTT.
Definitely. The only reason you need, the only reason I need them is trying to get the millennials to find the games.
Right.
Yeah.
And so what was the feedback at, like, I'm sure you could post action surveys and stuff like that.
Yes.
Like, the engagement rate, sort of like call for this as a product. Was it like strong, or was there something
It was
making
strong.
there?
The biggest negative, if you will, is that football is expensive.
Yeah.
Right, so if you're an investor looking at this, like, they want something that rides on someone else's capital, like Uber or Airbnb, right? They don't have any fixed costs. So that's why for us, licensing is a good future road, because it's expensive to put football teams together. We only had two. Insurance, equipment, it is outrageous.
But you feel like this is a platform now for someone else to come along and say, well, I have these assets that are struggling, and I want to use your system to kind of give it an infusion of life.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I hear Marshall McLuhan in the back of my head going like, hot and cold media, like.
Yeah, yeah.
So you'll be hosting the whole back end as well?
Yeah, so we can host the whole back end. I'll show it to you guys. You want to see it?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so I have 3 phones here. So you'll notice this is the old version of the app. This is what we use, and this is what the app looks like now. So we have like an add to calendar. This is like video content. We've changed it, but it still works. So you can share with a bunch of people. If you click on the hamburger nav, you'll see what your profile name is. And then you can invite, so you're Giga, I don't know how, I had my intern set it up. So if you hit on that, you can see what your name is. And then you can set up a head-to-head. So click on the head-to-head, and you can create a head-to-head competition, and you can search, what's your name?
Cindy.
S-I-E-D-E-V-V, S-I-E-D-E-V. No, not 2 E's, just.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right, just do VV.
VV.
There you go. So he's going to send you a head-to-head right now, and send it. You change it. No, it will come up. You're on the Wi-Fi. Could be a little slow. Did I put that on the Wi-Fi? Yes. There you go. So that's how long it took to go up and come back down.
Yeah, no,
Did you set up? What's your name?
Oh, you accepted my challenge.
my name.
Go hit the.
Oh yeah.
G guy.
Okay, so we've got a head-to-head plan here.
Then you can set up a league. We fixed it. It's a lot slicker. What are you, Giga?
Yep.
GGA.
Okay, what's next?
There we go. I'm gonna send you a head-to-head. Then you can go to leagues.
Okay, so back to the main
So
screen.
there are 3 ways you can compete by yourself on the leaderboard, head-to-head, or you can set up a league, right? So then the other one is I'll go here to a league. So I'm here and say create league. Game. So these are all my back-end technologies. So I have a game cast that does the quarters, tells you it's in the first, second quarter, but we're going to integrate that with the broadcast now. Then I have the play manager. This is like a referee. It tells you when the plays can get sent. This is the coach, these are all the plays that the coach is dealing with. Right here, so we're running all this in the back end, these are all the plays.
So Julie, I'm a fan and I'm sitting at the
You
bar
see
right
none
now
of this.
and we're just waiting for like a thing to initiate, a game,
That's
stream
right.
to start?
Yep,
Okay.
so I'm showing you the back end
All right.
system. So this is a live stream, I'm gonna throw the stream up right now. And you're gonna start, you'll be able to see, it will say watch live. You see it?
And I see enter game.
Yep, you can enter the game. How come I can't get any sound? Oh, we don't have any sound on this?
Maybe hooked up to the receiver, I don't know.
The HDMI, maybe.
You can put the sound on the phone. There you go.
Oh, you found it.
Wait, where's power enter game?
Ah, watch that. Dolly.
That's okay, we have it there. I'm gonna send you a trivia question right now. We'll wait for the game.
There's a watch game button?
Which one are you
And I sent you a trivia.
Oh, jeez.
So
Oh,
we have trivia built into the gamers.
How are you for that? Oh, there it is.
darn it, I got it wrong.
I
No.
don't know. I just put a random one.
That's all right. So that's Mike Sherman. He used to be the coach of the Green Bay Packers, if you are remotely a football fan.
I have a relative who'd be like, you know, giddy right now.
Well, like Merrill Hodge too, he was running back for the Steelers. Mike's a great guy, he's from Cape Cod. He lives local.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I grew up in the Cape.
yeah.
What part of the Cape?
Yarmouth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You?
I used to go every summer to Woods Hole.
Oh, yeah. For research or for fun?
Fun. That was good.
So this is like our leaderboards we were doing on the broadcast, telling them who was ahead on the leaderboard, who had the most points. So this is like the intro to the game. So now I'm gonna get ready to start the next play. So you're gonna get a pulse.
Okay.
You should be getting a play coming. So the coaches are now picking a play to start the game. What was that? So weird.
Oh, I had a crash.
Really?
Yeah. Going back in. Your call football, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and you got it. You can put ads in them.
Yeah, the mobile ads.
You all voted differently.
So now they're gonna run, he's playing the field, and then we're gonna hope it does well. And they're gonna gain 5 yards. So I'm gonna give them 5 yards, and if you voted with the majority, I'm gonna score you right now. And now another play. Are you back in?
I think I might have chosen the wrong
Play.
version of the app.
Oh,
Oh, there
okay.
I am. I'm back at SUDEV now. Okay. Enter game. I'm back.
So who
Oh,
who records like
Oh,
that
yeah, definitely this one.
which play was done and how many yards it got?
It's all in the back end system. It's just like a football game, so you know
Right.
that yard, it got 5 yards, so we record it in our back end system. We have a tech booth.
Yeah.
And then we know, so now they're gonna run this next play, so I didn't get the coach pick, but I did vote with the majority. So I'm gonna hope this one goes pretty well. Pretty sure I know what happens. So that's a pass incomplete, so that's bad, so we're gonna start the next play. And I'm gonna give that one, that was a pass incomplete, so there's no points. But if you did not vote with the majority, you would have got against the green points. So now you're voting again. So those are Fox sideline reporters we had. So now it's 4th and 10. Is anyone racking up? So here you can see your play calling score, or you can click on the leaderboard and see who's side dev. They're doing great.
Oh, I think that's, is that me? SUE Dev?
Yeah.
44, that's me.
Oh, nice.
All right, so now that was a 30-yard pass, plus, I'm gonna add an event, so I'm scoring this all right here, plus that was a touchdown, and I'm gonna save that. So if anyone voted with that, you just got a ton of points.
Sweet.
So now they're gonna turn, so now I'm not gonna keep doing it, but you could, is anyone clicking like here?
Yeah, within 7 seconds versus all the competitors.
Yeah, that is like the biggest problem. And distribution, like if this could be on CBS Sports, like Monday Night Football or Fox, like it'd be great.
Right.
Because everyone would see it and you'd get to it, but you can't do the delay.
And you look at the this new segmentation, right? I mean, if I end up at Comic-Con or E3 or any of these big conventions, I'll see people walking around with a Bledsoe shirt and they're not from his
That's
territory, right? And so is there a brand new segmentation
Yes.
that arose?
That's those next millennials.
Yeah.
They don't care about
So
that.
again, you know, it's just about having the capital to jump over all that junk, right? Or being in a power position enough to say like, hey, you know, that's okay, we're agnostic to your like territorial stuff.
That's right.
Because we're really interested in your marquee players and what they're doing on, yeah.
And getting the next generation of wealthy, like most, you know, stereotypical white wealthy old men who own sports teams are egotistical and they just want to say that they could spend all that money to buy a sports team. And unfortunately, the next generation don't care about them. They only care about themselves. And so until I can get that rich, you know, stereotypical white male who scoops up sports teams to realize like their future bread and butter is in that top bottom left quadrant of young gamers who want to be the star. So that's like the battle we face right now, that like we are in the door at all the right people and the right companies, but whether it's a sports league or a tech company or a financial person, but they haven't shifted their minds to that top right quadrant yet. We'll get there, but it's going to be a little bit of a slog.
How do you make money? What's your...
So right now we don't. We're like any old good. But the revenue model is the mobile ads. That's really what investors like about our financial future, is that, no thank you, is that it is, we have a captive audience because it's DVR proof, you know, and it's live streamed in this device that the millennials like. But that's the number one, mobile ads.
Yeah.
Huge.
But then another question will be, let's say now you play this way. One day, once you get more and more people, they play more and more. They will at higher quality. They want better experience.
That's right.
Yeah. So at that time, it costs. I'm just thinking.
Yes. That's why I need to license this.
Yeah.
So I need to ride on someone else's capital.
Yeah.
Because it's so expensive. Football is too flipping expensive to do.
How many different markets inside of pro sports does this scale to? Does like
great question. So it doesn't scale to a ton. So originally, so it works good for football. We originally thought it would work well for baseball, but we did a little case study with it, and not really. There's not enough scoring opportunities for the fan. It does not work in like soccer, anything that's fast-paced and not coachable. Basketball.
Not enough scoring opportunities for the fan in baseball?
Yeah.
Because the
It's not
decision maker's a pitcher?
Yeah.
Yeah, but isn't that just an interface issue on the pitcher's end?
Yeah, but there's not enough pitching diversity. Do you know where this could be great? Is golf.
Right.
So we've done a lot of work with golf, and now all of a sudden we're in with Top Golf a little bit, because there's actually more, if you think of the gaming and the scoring aspect, there's a little bit more diversity in that than anything else. But if you think about football in general, just that market has a huge amount, because you have, every college has a college spring game, which is not governed by any NCAA rules. And it's a huge opportunity for them to keep the alumni base alive, no matter where they're out of. So that is a huge opportunity. The Pro Bowl's an opportunity, and exhibition games in the NFL. No one goes to them. So just that alone, if we can just tap that.
And do you need a whole league involved, or could it be, one team says every home game we have, I want to use your
Absolutely, that's right.
Okay.
Right. But the problem right now, the other hurdle we have though is whether it's at the NFL level or the NCAA, like those are all governing bodies, obviously.
Yeah. I know, or some of the NFL games are streamed. I don't know if they did any this year, but sometimes they're streamed on Amazon's.
Yeah, we've done
service
all. You guys would
some
love
other.
if I threw up some data, but we've pretty much every fall we do a bunch of tests with live NFL games. So we did a couple weeks in a row. We did. Because remember, every night is different. I'm going to botch this, but let's say Sunday night is CBS, Monday night is NFL, and Thursday night is ESPN. That could be wrong, but they all own a night. So, and they all have their own streaming partners.
Right.
So for the month of October, every single night, my whole team, no matter where we were, we all went online and we did different things. Whether we were on Comcast, on Verizon. We were streaming through whatever they're streaming, because one of them, I forget, does Amazon. So we have this huge spreadsheet of all the different properties, and it's remarkable. The quickest was, the least amount of latency was Comcast at 17 seconds. All the way up to Dish was almost 2 minutes.
Oh.
So what we did is we had, for a couple of games, we had someone physically at different games. Given we had just people who were season ticket holders and they were at a Rams game or a Patriots game or whoever, a Jets game. So we'd pick a night when we knew somebody would physically be at the game, and we would do a quarter. And they would call us, they'd be on the concourse, they'd have their phone on, and they'd be like, the ball snapped, and then we'd all have our own, I was in charge of whatever, the stream that night. And so we'd all log in a spreadsheet from the time the person who's on site called what happened until we saw it on our stream. And the longest latency was Dish Network was almost 2 minutes.
That's unbelievable.
It was unbelievable. The best was consistently was it was either Verizon or Comcast. I can't remember. 17 seconds.
Do you have any insights as a startup founder about the position that you're at, right? Trying to next scale up,
trying not to get depressed.
keeping the team sort of focused on goals, things like that.
It's so hard. Yeah, it's funny. I have my 2 brother-in-laws are in the drone business, so the 2 of us, the 3 of us are constantly lamenting at different stages when we're everything's great, and then you're so that is such a true question, and it's so hard. Right now, Jason was asking when we're doing our next series, and I'm acting and motivating everybody towards a date, and that date may blow up in my face tomorrow. It's been a hellish 2 weeks, and I'm having problems locking down a certain part of the facility and blah, blah, blah. And so I'm kind of bummed, right? And I feel beat up, and I'm crap, but I gotta go in and tell the team nope, keep doing what you're doing. We gotta march towards this, because we have marketing plans, and we have football plans, and we have things that we have to do. I have to keep them going. So what I do is I create goals, and we march towards them. And if a roadblock comes, I have to figure out how to get it out of my way. Because it's tough. It's hard.
I feel we all need a moment of silence.
No, totally. I know this morning I'm can I drink now? Now I don't even want to drink.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, how you can actually use think more about technology part, start making money.
Right.
I'll be can you because you talk about high school students, how can you engage them, when their classmates maybe who is playing on the field, then they can do something, let's compete, things like that. Just not
the problem
really.
is all those bodies, the problem with high school and college, and in the NFL, they're all governed by rules.
Yeah.
Right, so you NCAA rules, you have MIAA here in Massachusetts, there's so many. But that is, the biggest hurdles we face are obviously keeping motivated as we try, because I believe this is gonna happen. And I've done it, so I know it can work. I just don't know how quickly I can get a major, if I can get the Pro Bowl to pop for me, then I think we've made it. Because then,
How do you sort of spread your time between like managing the team, some of these relationships, and
so the first up until this summer, so I have I feel really lucky. I have a great team. Everybody who works, so I only have 5 full-time employees. Everyone else are contractors. Every single person in this startup, I got through my network. Every single person. So like, talk about I don't appreciate the power of my network until I had to use it. It's been awesome. Leading up to the first series that we did this past April and May in Florida, I was obviously driving the strategy, but also super hands-on. So even though I definitely have a management style of, I only feel like I'm as good as everyone who's around me. Like, if you guys are all my team and work for me, I want to make sure you get all the accolades. Like, I don't need the accolades, because I'm like, if everyone who works for me is killing it, then by nature I look good.
Right.
Is my theory in life and in management, and it's always worked out great. And I did that for this first series, but I'm also a pretty good operations and a process person. And because this was very expensive and it had to work, I was pretty hands-on. So everything, if you can even imagine, from when I had 100 300-pound football players checking in for a training camp, like, I set up the entire process of, like, they get off a bus, they have a station 1, they gotta check in. I had a shared Google sheet with 7 stops that these mammoth players had to go through, all the way to when they pick up their room key and they have to give us their banking information for direct deposit, right? So I can be really high up here, but I can go into the weeds pretty quickly. And I also, as a startup, you guys probably feel the same way, like, I mean, there is nothing that's below me to do. And I try to show that too to I have like 3 young kids out of college who work for me, and I'm like, like, if I'm gonna replace the toner, you're gonna replace the toner. You know what I mean? So like, and that's not below me, and it's not below anybody, like, that's what you do. This time around, so to answer your question, like, now that I know it works and we have all the processes in place, I can't really do that anymore, because our sole focus right now is to I have like enough people interested in this, and now I gotta get them to commit. So my job is like, everyone else has to make things hum, and I gotta make sure we get people to like partner with us.
Right. So like there's the licensing part with other leagues and everything, but for the the seasons like you did last, like with the episodes last year, like, what's the goal of, do you want to do a 16-game season like the NFL season?
Probably not, unless I can ride on someone else's capital.
Right.
It is just so expensive. You just bleed money. So like, there are 2 startup football leagues. I don't consider myself a startup football league. I consider myself a sports and gaming platform. There are 2 that are coming out in the spring. One's funded by Vince McMahon, who runs the WWE. One's funded by
the XFL.
XFL, right. So I'm actually I have a very good relationship with Oliver Luck, who runs that. And to be quite honest, if him and I decide to merge and I be the innovative technology, and my funder has the technology, and Vince wants to blow through $250 million, literally.
Is it really like a tentpole movie in order to put on a season, one game, or season of games? Like,
it is. So for me to do 4 games with 2 teams, 100 people, insurance and everything, I'll take out the tech cost. That's $3 million. Just to do that. Insurance is $1 million. That's for 2 teams. So now you take the XFL or the AAF, their insurance is 8 teams, plus 8 stadiums for 16 weeks. A production cost to do a 2-hour live stream production cost is about $100,000. Their numbers just go up, 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 out of the blue. You can't do it. It's so expensive. But Vince McMahon has a ton of money. He doesn't care. Nice
So-
problem to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so fascinated by this lower right quadrant, right, and what motivates them. I mean, I'm
The
dealing with
gamers,
the gamers, and
see, I think what motivates them is they can be the star. They can be the Tom Brady.
right, but they still have, they're still fans of the Tom Brady.
Not all of them.
Well, no, I mean, no shoes, one size fits all, of course.
But also down there, you know, remember, sports gaming down there is big, but not as big as everything else. That's the other difference. You
So
know?
on your team, do you have more like people from the gaming industry or the sports industry? Or
Yeah, no, we are, so, I mean, definitely I look at it as 4 pillars. I always say I have football, I have distribution, I have marketing, and I have the product, the tech. We're fairly evenly split. We used a firm here in Boston to help us with some of the gaming elements. We use Cantina here in Boston. They do all the development and the coding, and one of the guys is like my CTO. They're great. And then, it's pretty evenly across all 4.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I need all 4. And, you know, again, everybody is through my network. I either worked with them at Forrestor or my VP of marketing, we went to college together, and she worked, she did all the NFL deals at Staples back in the 90s and 2000s. So she kind of came with an amazing network to help on the distribution and football side, and because of my tech background, I kind of had all the tech and business ops people. So between the two of us, we like literally assembled mostly female women who kind of had kick-ass jobs, and then they kind of stayed at home a little bit, and then they wanted to get back into it, which is kind of fun. I mean, my girls think it's pretty cool. They're like, wow, that's fun, you know, so it's nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
In China, we would do, now, the way we are doing it is make something happen very far away from you, like thinking about the football players playing. We would do it with social. That's how everything is connected with social.
Yeah.
So you can interact with your friends.
Right.
You can comment.
Right.
Right on the screen.
Yes.
Real time. So that's how Chinese people are doing. You know, it's like internet things is huge in China.
Yeah.
Like it's way ahead than the US actually.
Yes.
The way we're doing this. Yeah. So it's basically the way I think really you can make money and make it easy in real time is about social. It's more about connecting people. They just want to talk shit together.
Absolutely.
That's it. Yeah.
That's one of the things, if you look at these football games on the video game platform.
Yes, they're all tweeting
And the first-person shooters, they all social constantly. They're always talking to each other.
Right. But the thing about that
it's the same game. People play it every year.
But it's like the way we do it is on the screen. You don't even have to go to tweet.
No, I know. Like if you're watching shit. No, we don't. Well, like if you're on Facebook Live and you see stuff come out. Totally. No, it's so it's funny because the new features we have, we were gonna put that in, and we got some user feedback saying because they have to impact the live game and they want to vote, they didn't want to be distracted by that. So it was it's a friction.
Yeah, I mean that's
and
your
I don't know the
game
answer.
is perfect for gamer.
Yeah.
But it's not perfect
for the social.
Yeah, but it's not perfect for the business, I would say, from making money. Yeah. So that's why I said that.
Well, we have 3, we definitely came out of it with 3 personas, if you will. So like the card sharks, we kind of labeled them the ones who were like all about, like they wanted to win, they were voting on every play. The more avid people who were just like, they like football, and then there was a smaller social, that's how we labeled them, and I actually thought we'd have more social, but they didn't care that much. So.
I'm just thinking how to make money, because I'm doing startup,
So
it's more like,
aspect is
make it,
absolutely, competitive dominated. Yes, and we're struggling.
Yeah. It's all.
The biggest thing is the mobile. The biggest thing is that the live stream is awesome in the phone, and that once you get in, even if you don't vote, once you get in the live, oh my kids are gonna drive me crazy. Sorry. Literally, it's the one night. I'll sidetrack to say my husband's a middle school principal, and tonight is his. He has to present his budget to like this whatever school committee, and he's like, wait, what do you mean you have something about us? I'm like, he's like, what are, and we like never like throw our kids in Ubers or crap like that, and like literally tonight I've done it twice already, and I'm like, you know, like I'm following them because I feel so uncomfortable. So sorry, the little one's like,
That's
Mom.
okay. And once there was a startup called Zemcar that was going to handle that for you and have trusted drivers.
I know. Well, the oldest will be home from college, so Sunday I'll be able. She'll be my Uber. So, but yes, dying to get like the biggest thing we can is say that even if you don't vote, you can live stream it in here, and you'll still see the mobile ads. And at the end of the day, that's what they care. The mobile ad people just care about a captive audience. But you're absolutely right. It needs
WeChat integration.
Yeah. So.
This is fascinating.
Yeah. Well, listen,
Yeah.
I appreciate the support, and I'm no different than you guys, slogging it out. I think the only thing I have is that I have a funder with deep pockets who doesn't care, and I think that's a blessing and a curse, to be brutally honest.
Is this investor, right, like, does he see the rays of hope, like at every test and every milestone? He's like, yes, keep going?
Yes. And I do too, I see it there. But it's, to your point, like I'm used to, like even when I worked in Forrestor and I launched a new product, you generate revenue.
Yeah.
Right. Have the two of you had a conversation where you say like there is sort of a no-go point?
Yeah, I've said it to him. We're going to do one more series, and if we can't get a couple of licensing deals out of it, then I think it's silly for him to burn through money, because he still owns the patents. We could fire them back up again, but you really have to. Football is expensive.
Yeah.
And that is like, if we can ride on someone else's capital, like those licensing things, this is a home run.
And do you have really like powerful in the moment marketing videos from those events where people are like voting and screaming and pictures of beer?
Yeah, on our socials. If you guys, I'd love for you to follow us on social. Our YouTube channel has our games too, which are really fun to watch. Yeah, definitely. So. All right.
Yeah, I'll definitely download
Thank you
check it
guys.
out.
I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thank you.
All right.
Can you say what the game ticket? Like real win?
So we don't. What do you mean, a ticket to the game?
Yeah.
No, we don't generate revenue yet.
But
we should. We can.
Yeah, but you can do that. I mean, it's all
I'm hiring her. She's like more driven than me right now.
She's gonna make your money right now.
Yeah, I'm doing protein bars. Like, you can have your player eating my protein bars. And protein.
All right, talk about an expensive venture. You're creating your own protein bar to compete with all the other thousands of protein bars out there?
Yes.
I like you.
It's like,
What's the name of it?
It's Hemplead. Our company, we are more hemp focused. So it's different than us. It's
You mean
similar.
hemp? H-E-M-P?
Yes, hemp.
Just
Yeah,
quite
so
good.
it's
quite
like-
good for you actually.
It's good for your health, yeah. And we
You
are
know
saying,
what my trainer says, anything that's stuck together isn't good for you.
what do you mean?
Oh,
My fitness trainer says I'm not allowed to eat anything that's stuck together. You shouldn't eat. That's his rule of thumb. So like I was a huge bar, like everyone eats those protein health bars because you're busy, you're on the go, and I have a history of heart disease in my family. And when I went for like my physical, they were like, you should be careful, and what are you eating? And I'm like, I eat really well, and I run, and then they're like, they made me write down what I ate, and I was like, I have like a Luna bar a day or something. And they were like,
I know.
and so his whole line to me was anything that's stuck together.
Yeah, that's why we don't make it sticky. We basically put things together, then it's a bar. We don't process it. Yeah, it's all raw ingredients put together. Yes, and our hemp is totally cold pressed. We don't use any like
high processing.
And you're already
That was
producing
good, I
and
tried
selling?
it, yeah.
Oh yeah, we were selling.
You need to get some testing? You gonna
Yeah,
give me
sure.
one? Come on,